over interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
When you watch Wildcat football, let's be honest, you're looking for great drives. Everyone wants to see the offense take the ball down the field for a score. Another place in southern Arizona where you can see great drives and score big this month is O'Reilly Chevrolet. It's Drug Month at O'Reilly, so you can get one of the best deals of the year on a new Silverado. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Hi, it's Floyd, the family man with the family plan. Outdated HVAC systems will drive up your electric bill, drain your wallet, and peace of mind. Save now at Goodfellas with no payments or interest till 2024. Got a 30% federal tax credit, up to $2,000 off qualifying heat pumps. Trust Goodfellas. We're locally owned with thousands of 5-star reviews. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Visit us at goodfellasac.com to schedule a no-cost estimate.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vale School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rock & K with home savings up to $35,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. Live rockandk.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Broadway in Tucson presents the Rockin' 2023-2024 season featuring 8 blockbuster productions including Disney's Aladdin, The Book of Mormon, Hairspray, and Chicago. Enjoy the Southern Arizona musical premieres of Tina, the Tina Turner musical, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Time of the Temptations, MJ the Musical, and Mrs. Doubtfire. Secure your choice season tickets today and get the ultimate in flexibility and the lowest prices all season. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your season tickets today.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Does it feel like the price of We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Now Wiley joins him offset I. Fafita will take the snap, back to throw, backpedaling, throws towards the end zone. Caught, touchdown, Arizona to Jacob Cowing.
That's a great job of Noah Fafita. He was looking for Mike Wiley in the flats, but ASU sniffed that play out. So he went through his progression, and he found Jacob Cowing running across the field in the back of the end zone and just drops a dime in there. What an excellent play by Noah Fafita.
The play clock is 1 second ahead of the game clock. So here's the final snap. Here are the game. Tannenbaum to a knee. The Wildcats win in Tempe for the first time since 2011. Back-to-back Territorial Cups. A dominating afternoon in Tempe.
The Arizona Wildcats are champions of the Territorial Cup for 2023. How about a U of A chant? Let's get that going here. U of A. U of A. U of A.
It's awesome.
We are coming to you live from Macayo's Mexican Food, ASU Tempe. It is a party here tonight. The Wildcats knock off the Sun Devils 59-23 in the 97th Territorial Cup game, the second win in a row for the Wildcats. First time they've done that in this series since 2008-2009 when we were first getting going with this thing. At least I was, my first 2 years here in Tucson covering this club. The first win here in Tempe in 12 years, 2011 was the last time that happened. A team that was coached on the interim basis by Tim Kish. So shout out Tim Kish, who's back in Tucson now for having been the last coach to win here prior to Jed Fish and his boys doing it today. And how about the freshman Noah Fafita? A program record, 527 yards passing, 7 more than what Anu Solomon put up 9 years ago in the famed game against California at home, the Hail Mary game. Noah Fafita is now number 1 all-time. How about that? The top 2 passing performances in Arizona single-game history, both put in by freshman quarterbacks.
Freshman quarterbacks. I'll tell you what. Good thing I have unlimited text on my phone because I got so many texts from former Wildcats telling me how excited they are about going up to Sun Devil Stadium and just absolutely destroying the Sun Devils up here at Tempe and Tempe Normal, and just really just putting it to them, and they're just excited. I mean, Wildcat Nation, as far as the football players that are here, we got a guy, Ted, over here. Ted's played tight end for 1968. Man. He's in the house here.
Tight ends are in the house.
Tight ends in the house, man. And he's so excited about our win today. And it's just great to see what we did today. And we've taken the next step of really becoming a winner right now. Now we just got to continue it on and get this thing done as far as going into the Big 12.
All right, I'm David Kelly, joined here on site at Macayos in Tempe by Glenn Howe, tight end 1985. Back in studio is the captain, Kelvin Ifan, 1998, along with J.W. Madden. I'll start with you, Kelvin. Your thoughts on what happened? This was, the final score was 59-23, but it was 52-7 at one point, and basically the Wildcats were out there playing like it was the backyard. It was easy pitch and catch out there for Noah Fafita and his receivers today.
Yeah, man, it just looked like the whole group was just having a good time out there, man. It was a good, clean game that was played. Not what I think maybe one personal foul, so it wasn't too personal to Arizona State. I just feel like the guys just played great. Coach Fish called another great game, perfect for Noah. Noah executed it, and him and his running teammate T-Mac just had a great game. 11 catches, 266 yards. What more can you say?
Just incredible. Just an incredible performance for this freshman. 30 of 41, 527 yards. Did throw the 1 interception down in the red zone in the second half, which obviously you never want to see. But 4 touchdown passes. The receivers in this ball game, the primary 2, Tetro McMillan, 11 catches, 266 yards and a touchdown. Jacob Cowing, 9 catches, 157 yards in this game. Tanner McLaughlin, 7 catches for 60 yards. Now the all-time pass catcher in a single season for a tight end in school history. A record-setting victory over the Arizona State Sun Devils here today in Tempe. We want to hear from you. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. The 4th member of our crew, J.W. Madden. J.W., what are your thoughts on this exciting win today by the Wildcats?
Yeah, I think same old, guys. I think we've seen this the last 5 weeks, maybe even before that, but just a full team effort, and really impressed with the turnaround where we are now relative to just 2-3 years ago. And watching those guys out on the field, it was just one team that was ready to make big things happen, another team that was completely overmatched. And, we haven't seen that very often in this rivalry. It's surprising me that's the first win up there since 2011. But it was not a game, guys. I mean, that was over right after that first touchdown by that school up north. Arizona just took over, and you're right. I mean, it could have been 70. I personally am glad it wasn't 100-7. I think that they kind of took their foot off the gas there a little bit, but just a dominating performance overall.
Well, and it was interesting the way they came out. They basically came out without a quarterback. Now, what I heard was that obviously Jaden Rashada had not really played in the last 9 weeks. He was coming back from injury. My understanding was that Trenton Bourget was there today, but he may have been sick or come down sick around. We're trying to get confirmation of that. The youngster out of Marana High School who had started last year's game, but they came out in a kind of a wildcat formation with their tight end and their running back. And I had said before the game,
down our throats.
I had said before the game that Jalen Conyers could be the pest for this team. I didn't anticipate though that was going to be him running the football.
Exactly. They came out and they went 75 yards. And didn't have one pass on that whole drive. They just said, you know what? We can't pass the ball. We can't even get a guy off the intramurals team to pass the ball. We couldn't get somebody in there, and they just ran the ball. They decided that's how they're going to win this game. I thought their game plan was to run the football, shorten the game down, keep it close, and then maybe try to win it in the end.
7 runs on that drive, that opening drive for 75 yards to take an early 7-0 lead, and you won. But you knew, guys, and Kelvin, you knew they were not going to be able to keep that going. I mean, Johnny Nansen is too smart for that. They might not have seen that before, but it wasn't going to take Johnny Nansen too long to figure out that whole wildcat with the tight end and the running back scheme.
No, and once I seen the big guy start trying to bounce it, I was like, that's the worst thing you can do. Yeah. I mean, you better get north and south and try to use your size to try to maybe knock a couple guys over. But he tried to go sideline to sideline, and those safeties, man, were coming up, just being Stooks over there, being aggressive. Madonna being very aggressive, coming up, making tackles. They were just shut down. They were just discombobulated. I thought that Trent would find a way to be able to play today, but I don't even know. I never seen him. Did you guys see him on the sideline?
I thought I saw him pregame, but and there were reports that I looked and saw some reports that people said he was there early, but I never saw him kind of towards game time, and I was looking for him during the game on the sideline, and I never saw him. That's why I believe that there may have been some type of illness involved there, and he may have exited pretty quickly, if not before the start of the game, right after the start of the game, because there was reports from the Arizona State media that he was going to start the game. And so I wonder if that was even a situation where, and apparently Jaden Rashada was suspended for the first part of the game internally because he was late for a team meeting. And so that's why he did not start initially. So a lot of things going on. We'll see if we can get the post game from Kenny Dillingham to get clarification. But clearly, it was an Arizona State team that was going through a lot today. They were overmatched, and it just did not look like Jaden Rashada was ready for what needed to happen today for them to even have a chance in this game.
Once he didn't start, I already knew he was going to have problems right there. When you're saying that your starting quarterback, a freshman, is late for game day activities, whatever it was, it had to be something bad. It had to be something bad to not start him in a situation where you're in a big game like this. Because as a captain, I probably would have went to the coach, knowing that, we didn't really have many options. I would say, hey, we got to play him anyway, coach. But whatever it was something possibly that guys couldn't really step up. And he played that way. When you see the way he played like he was a little unprepared.
Yeah. Missed receivers, wide open receivers at times, receivers dropped balls.
Yeah, got the safety, staring down the safety. You're supposed to look that guy off. It was some throws that he threw that he looked like a youngster who haven't played the basically the whole season.
Yeah. And on the other side of the coin, remember when we were concerned the Wildcats couldn't get 4 touchdowns in a game? Well, they got 8 today.
Yeah.
They got 8 touchdowns today.
They went off and just maybe heard our show and said, we're going to show them. We're going to drop 8 on you. Yeah, I mean, just unbelievable.
Thank you.
The way
5 in a row.
Yeah,
5 drives in a row they scored a touchdown.
That's the thing. They just said, you know what? We're going to put the pressure on you to try to come back, and that's what I think the plan of scoring that much, getting that far ahead. Then they're going to start making mistakes. Then they're going to start to panic. They just really had no answer for anything.
All right, let's get a break in here. We want to talk to you. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. If you're up in Tempe, come on over to Macayo's Mexican Food. We're at 650 North Scottsdale Road, just over Tempe Town Lake from the stadium. We'll be here till around 8 o'clock, 8:30 tonight, taking your calls and really celebrating this win here tonight of the Territorial Cup game for the Arizona Wildcats. First time since 2011 they've won up here. First time since 8-9 that they've won back-to-back games in this series. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show. Along with Kelvin Ifan, J.W. Madden, and Glenn Howell, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you in part by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog and Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Pulse and Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees, bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after
Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Takes the snap out of the gun, back to throw, looking deep, fires over the middle, and it's caught at midfield, and open field running down to the 40, 35, down to the 30, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and out of bounds. Tetero McMillan, first and goal, Arizona at the Sun Devil 5.
Noah Fafita is on fire, and he just finds T-Mac on a simple crosser, and he just outran everybody all the way to the corner of the end zone. What a play by Arizona.
And we're back here at Macayo's Mexican Food in Tempe. Wildcats knock off the Sun Devils 59-23.
Taking pictures.
Yeah, taking. No, you don't want to say that. You want to say that right there. No, we'll hold off on all of that. 59-23, the final score in favor of the Arizona Wildcats. And we're going to take your calls. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Before we do that, I want to update on what we were talking about in the last segment. We'll hear from head coach Kenny Dillingham of the ASU Sun Devils. So apparently, again, we were talking about Trenton Bourguet. Trenton Bourguet and he and his brother Coben Bourguet were both sick before the ball game. Trenton did go through warm-ups, according to several writers that were in the press conference, the post-game press conference, but then told the coaching staff prior to the game that he could not go. And so that was when Coach Dillingham informed Jalen Conyers in pregame that they would run what they call their Hellcat package, with Conyers taking direct snaps in the first series. So Bourguet and brother Coben, both from Marana High School, came up ill before the ball game, and that's what kind of constituted ASU having to go in a completely different direction offensively to start this ball game, using Jalen Conyers, their tight end, and their running back as well in the Wildcat or Hellcat, as they call it, formation. We'll get more into that as we continue here from Macayo's. 520-848-1290. Let's talk to Phil. Phil, you're up first. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Gentlemen, good evening. Good evening to all you guys. You guys have done a heck of a job this season, and I appreciate what you do. And today just kind of seals the deal for a lot of Wildcat fans and some of those who have been waiting to get on the bandwagon, because I think a lot of people were thinking, okay, they've gone 5-0. Can they go 6-0? You know how it is up there with those scummies up there.
You called it, Phil.
9-3. My brother and I, Brother Paul, 8 weeks ago, there was something I know we were acting like homers, but I saw something, and my brother did too. And from that point forward, every week, we all saw that team grow and mature and get better week in and week out. Today was no exception. Yeah. The first drive, you get a field goal. It's kind of like that's the jitters. You got to get the nerves worked out. And but after that, as mid second quarter, I called my brother. I said, Paul, now it looks like it's a team where it's the men, the U of A men, playing the scummy boys.
Wait a minute, Phil. You and your brother weren't at the game today?
No, sir. I'm in Tucson. It was just one of those moments where it's like, oh my God, it just didn't work out. Okay. And I know. Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. But but we were there in the rain last week, and that was glorious as well.
Oh yeah.
And as I said to a lady who I know who actually helps us with enjoying our college football, Liz, if you're out there listening, Liz said to me a few weeks back, I said, you know what? How about 6 in a row? She goes, no, how about 7 in a row? So there you go. Yeah. So we got 6 in a row now. We just need one more. Make it 7.
Yeah, that would be beautiful to end up a 10-game winning a 10-game season, man. Winning 10 games would be amazing of what we have done. This team has done, and just coming in here, like you said, Phil, coming in. He's like, bring it on. We got guys in here saying, bring it on, Georgia. Oh, not so fast.
Really? Not so fast.
Yeah.
But you know what? This team has proven what they've done, and it's there's some incredible players, no doubt. You guys have already talked about all the incredible players, but it's a team effort. Everybody, including the people who are passing out water. Okay, so it's just an awesome thing to see. And as an old time, as a native Tucsonan, we always were kind of like it. By this time of year, we were always going, oh gosh, well, we got basketball coming.
Yep.
Nah, who cares about basketball? We still got more football to go. And as somebody said years ago, and I'm going to say it again, third week in a row, somebody really well known, somebody who played the game, somebody who was handsome and debonair, and almost as handsome as Captain K. Kelvin, you're not forgotten about, man. But I remember somebody said, "We're going bowling, baby."
Yeah, we're going to a nice bowl too. I think we're going to go to a.
We're going to a
bowl.
nice bowl. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You guys, God bless you. Have a great holiday season, and look forward to talking some more after that bowl game.
All right, Phil. Hey, we appreciate you calling in.
Bear down, Phil.
All season long.
Bear down, guys.
Outstanding. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Again, we are live at Macayo's Mexican Food here, ASU Tempe, enjoying a 59-23 win by the Wildcats. Let's talk to Howie. Howie, you're on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, bear down, guys.
Bear down, Howie.
Baby.
Bear down, Howie.
Yeah, bear down. Yeah, I was waiting for a response. ASU should call that the no pass package.
The no pass package. There was definitely no passing there.
There
was no passing.
It was alarming, Howie, how bad the passes were.
Oh gosh!
When
they finally did bring in the quarterback.
I mean, and it was wide open and threw it in the ground.
Yeah.
Like it was really. It wasn't even close.
You guys know I follow this stuff. I'm an old guy, I love the Pac-12 when it existed, and I just been reading about ASU. I'm not trying to make excuses for them, but the guy's got a lot of injuries. I mean, they were using all kinds of people at quarterback. I
was looking at that situation and I kept thinking to myself when you guys saying that Trent was sick, I'm like, it probably would have made me sick too if you would have brought a freshman back in front of me who wasn't ready, because Trent and those guys probably seen him at practice and probably was like, man, y'all putting them in front of me for what? And I don't know if that's what happened. I don't know, but I got a little history in football. I played a little ball, so I kind of know how things go a little bit there. Yeah, probably could make you very ill. Thinking about getting pulled out in a situation, or because making that change right now. Is that to satisfy and keep this kid from transferring on ASU's head coach's part? Like, what was that really about? Trying to get him some experience for next year? I mean, I feel like you could have did that in the second half or something. You go with the guy that's been playing. I mean, I'm just...
Yeah, I hear you, Kelvin. I'm 100% behind you on that one, Kelvin.
Rashada, he had some trouble down in Florida with the NIL. He's kind of a temperamental guy. I wonder if he's going to stick around that program.
Yeah, after that, I don't know, man. I don't know about those play calls.
Who's going to take him?
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like he did a whole lot to help himself.
And the coaches didn't help him though.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't throw a kid in like that. I mean, that's to me, like I said, right now, and I've been thinking about this even for our Wildcats. Like, how do we keep all these guys in this day and time of NIL and other teams coming to steal your guys because they can give them more playing time or perceived playing time? So all that stuff is going through my head. Like, man, we got to start back recruiting some of these guys. We got guys on our own roster.
But you know what I say to that? 'Cause sometimes right now, Kelvin, because next year we're going to the 12 teams to playoff. when we go to the Big 12, we might be getting in the playoff every year. I'm telling you. I'm serious.
Big 12 or the Wildcats?
The Big 12, the Wildcats.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because, I really, seriously, I'm getting in. If we come into that conference and we're doing this well and we're playing and we continue to play this well, I think we're ending up at 1 or 2, 3 in the conference. And then you're going to take 12 teams.
Yeah.
So we got a good chance to get into the playoffs. Now, why would you go somewhere else?
Money.
It's going to be interesting. I'm kind of changing the subject here a little bit, but I've watched Oklahoma a little bit this year, and Gabriel, he doesn't seem that great to me. He's a decent quarterback. I think his first name is Dylan Gabriel. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's okay. You know what I mean? I think we give him a good game. I think we do. I think that's who we're going to be against, actually. That's what they're talking about up here, in the Alamo Bowl. So that should be a good one.
Yeah, that will be a challenging game. The only thing that concerns me about that is that number that the ASU Sun Devils put up, 224 on the ground. Did not like that number. I just don't like that number.
Yeah,
I think that's something that we have to shore up. Which I really didn't think that they could do that against us because we've been pretty good against the run. So that's something that is concerning to me.
I could agree with Johnny Nansen at the end of the game. It seemed like we were slipping a little bit. Maybe he was putting in subs. I don't know what he was doing, but maybe I'm greedy. But I go back to when we used to get our butts kicked by Frank Kush. And I would have liked to seen us just pile on the points. I don't care, that's it,
I hear you, Howie.
Hey, Howie, we appreciate you as always. Thanks for calling in as always.
Bear down, Howie.
Yeah, thanks for the job you guys have done this year. Thank you.
All right, Howie, always a passionate Wildcat. All right, I want to hear from, let's let you hear from Kenny Dillingham. And what he had to say about the quarterback situation and how it evolved pregame today for the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic. Kenny, can you walk us through your plans for quarterback? Because we thought it was going to be Jaden, and then they were both going to play, and then that didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't want to get too into one piece of it. Obviously, Jaden was going into the week as the starter. And then, actually it was reported on. He was late to a meeting, and we have policies, and one thing we're not going to do is I'm not going to be a coward. If I say there's a standard for the program, there's going to be a standard for the program. And whether that hurts us or doesn't hurt us, that's the foundation we're trying to set. And then Trenton was going to go, and he got sick. So his brother started puking, and then he started puking. So we tried to get him back, but he just said, I'm sick, I'm puking. I can't go. So we then went into the Wildcat mold there to start it up.
How soon before the game was it that he said he couldn't go?
On the field.
Like right, literally, as you're.
No. During pregame.
Oh.
So we knew. So we got to be able to put together a pretty scripted drive from the Hellcat deal and try to put our players in the best position to be successful.
Sorry, Kenny Dillingham there. Just an unfortunate situation for the two kids from Marana.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that you just don't want ever to happen. I don't ever recall being sick before a game, but I mean, I can just imagine how that would be, being sick before a game and thinking you're playing in the biggest rivalry game, of the season.
Your hometown,
your hometown against
you.
Yeah, that's what I was getting kind of afraid of, that he'd come in and then
I had him as my pest.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking, Kelvin. And he'd come in and he'd be the hero,
With everything he's been through this year with the injuries, he must have really been sick not to be able to go, because Trenton Bourget is about as tough as they come.
Yeah.
And if he could have gone, he'd have definitely gone to have an opportunity to start his second straight Territorial Cup game and finish out his career there. He's a redshirt junior, so he could obviously come back another year if he so chooses. We'll see kind of what happens. And Brother Trayson announced this week that he was transferring from Central Michigan, so we'll kind of see how that all plays out once we get into the offseason. All right, we've got some folks here we want to talk to. We're going to take a break, though. We'll come back on the other side. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show. Wildcats win over ASU 59-23. We're at Macayo's Mexican Restaurant here. We got a good crowd here.
We got
with Kelvin Efon, Glenn Hound, JW Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez of Meridian Wealth Management, and I'd like to invite you to our complimentary retirement income workshop held every Friday at 10 a.m. in our offices at the Williams.
The Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And a handoff, Wiley coming to the near side. He's at the 10, slips a tackle at the 5, diving for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Arizona.
It's a big-time run by Mike Wiley. He gets the ball inside, cuts it back against the grain, makes 2 defenders miss, and just lunges into the end zone. Arizona again taking over this game.
It is not a big game win for Arizona if Michael Wiley isn't doing great things, and he did so once again today. 59-23, the final score. The Wildcats win the 97th battle for the territory over Arizona State. Welcome back here. We're at Macayo's Mexican Food in Tempe, Arizona, celebrating a big win from the Wildcats. And we've got one of the many fans who's come out here to hang out with us tonight. Sir, what is your name?
My name is Lionel Sosi. How you doing, sir?
Lionel Sosi. Lionel, where are you from?
I'm actually from the Phoenix area, Scottsdale, really.
Outstanding. So you're from up here. You're from up here.
Yeah, we're up here in the north, Tucson. So I think we're good here.
Outstanding. So would you go to the game today?
Yes, I did. Actually, I did. I really enjoyed the game.
What did you think of your Wildcats?
You know what? I really loved them because I was hoping to beat down like everybody else does. We were hoping for the whole 80-point to 0. At the end, but we didn't get it.
80-0,
yeah,
man. You came up. You came in with high expectations.
Like the whole, their slogan was taking it personal. So the last time they beat us down, it was personal at that time. But I'll take this win though. 50 over. When I see all the other Arizona fans, all the ASU fans leaving the stadium before even the game ended is an awesome treat. When even the student section is empty is the best treat that you could see.
We had some of our students took over their student section.
Yeah.
When they all start where I was, when they all started leaving when Rashada threw that interception to start the third quarter.
Yeah.
It's like y'all sat through halftime just to get up and leave 1 minute into the third quarter.
Just was over. and they got ghosts.
Yeah. When we were sitting pretty tight in the beginning, I think halftime where me and a friend of mine, my brother, we were pretty tight when we were there, but third quarter came, it kind of got loose, and then as soon as when things started going downhill for them, the ASU, they were gone, they were all gone, and that kind of made us more comfortable. We could see we're right next to the band, and it was just totally awesome to see them excuse me, ASU fans, but hurting that way because, we were hurting. That 70-point really hurt us really personally too. So, but I'm glad it was a really great game. I really enjoyed it. I was talking to your co-host over here just a couple of minutes ago about how the game was really fluent. I noticed the run game was beating down on us. ASU was just running on us. They
ran the ball well over 200 yards.
And it was hard to see that. That was really hard to see us not defend. We didn't see linebackers going in. We didn't see on the corners they were perfect. But then again, it was just really hard to see. And I was talking to my brother why are they beating us on the run game? Because I thought that was what we did good.
Yeah.
Was we always defended great on the run game.
Yeah.
But the quarterback, we were talking about it, that how much he ran on us. The first drive, they ran 15? You said 15, and then they threw the ball.
Yeah, they ran the first drive was 75 yards all on the ground, not one pass.
Go
ahead,
Calvin. Let me speak on that a little bit there, though. Hey, man, this football, though.
Yeah.
You got to respect the other team, man. They're fresh. Mm-hmm. They had a game plan. They had guys. That was a 250-pound guy running that ball. You hate to see it, but at the same time, man, you have to respect the other team and what they bring to the table, too.
True. But at the same time, that's why your linebackers are there.
Yeah.
Your linebackers are supposed to follow those gaps. And then when the gaps weren't there, you had your blockers blocking them in. But Then again, you have your secondary on the side.
The flip side, obviously, is that the fact that, one, they could not throw the ball, so the only way they were going to gain yards today in this game was to try to run it, and as a result, I don't know, I don't know what the final term was in terms of their carries, but
what was the
I
passing
would
yards?
think, what was the final numbers, Glenn, in terms of run
Scatter
versus
bowl.
pass for Arizona State?
The run, it was they ran. Hold on a second, I got it right here. It was.
Yeah, because obviously they couldn't throw the ball.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
night I wanted them to throw the ball.
They ran the
That
ball.
was awesome.
They ran the ball 42 times, and they
Whoa.
passed it. And they passed
20, like 20.
And 23 times.
23,
Wow.
yeah. So it was
See?
almost 19 more runs versus pass.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm
that's
surprised
like-
we didn't intercept the ball. We only intercept the ball like what, twice?
Yeah.
Twice.
Well,
He wanna
only
play-
twice?
he wanna
Yeah,
play-
twice. We should have had it more.
Yeah.
You know, we should have had it more.
Yeah.
I was just saying, the sun was hitting me in the eye.
Yeah.
So, we should have had a little bit more there.
Yeah, they really ran. They really made it an effort to run the football, and they did a pretty good job running the football. Scattaboo had, he had 100.
balling,
It seemed like
man.
they were calling
108.
his name every play in the first half.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm saying. They knew they were running. That the scheme was there. Every time they had it,
Well-
they had two backs, or
well,
they
let me
had
just
one
say
back,
this.
and then
Let me
we
s-
just couldn't see that. What they
But
they,
let me
had,
say
they
this.
had like what they call that? They had man-to-man coverage on the outside, and we knew they were going to throw the ball, but you'd see they're going to run the ball. We couldn't stop the
Go ahead,
stop the
Calvin.
run.
I just want to say this. What about when T-Mac had 11 catches and they know, everybody been knowing that we going to throw the ball to T-Mac,
Yep.
right? But you just can't stop. It's just one of those things. That little running back, Scatterbo, I'm a former running back. I know a little bit about running backs. That guy is serious.
Yeah.
That guy's
with
a
passion.
serious.
He ran with
man, he ran with passion and strength and weight room and a little bit of everything. That guy's a tough runner, especially when there's no passing game. The number one receiver was out of the game now. The last thing you would have wanted U of A to do was sell out for the run and them to throw some little simple pass over the top and get easy touchdowns. So at least they had to work for those yards to get down the field.
I'm okay with that 57 win. I'm good
Yeah.
with it. I'm good with it. Even the run wasn't.
There we go.
I think, we were talking like off air earlier. We were talking about if we get Oklahoma. So if we get Oklahoma, then Oklahoma runs the ball religiously. So it's how are we going to stop that? That's what I'm kind of worried about.
I think
Oklahoma in the Alamo Bowl. That's
Yeah.
a possibility.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I looking at the bowl possibilities, you're looking at that, and and I'm seeing how do they even have in the Fiesta Texas versus Tulane? I don't understand that. I mean, it's at large, you know. So those are kind of things that I don't think we're out of the realm of being in that bowl.
Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, the
Wow.
Fiesta Bowl.
Okay.
Because look how well we've been playing,
Right.
and all the teams that we've beaten.
Yeah.
That would be something that I think it might be a possibility.
Texas and Arizona. That would be fun.
But we're still ranked at the end of the day. We're still ranked. Michigan won.
Yep.
So then that slides down. That bumps up Washington. Washington maybe.
No, Michigan won. Michigan won.
Well,
so
Michigan
that,
won.
Yeah.
And
so
then that puts them to second.
Yeah.
And then depending on what the outcome of the
Florida State.
Washington and Washington State games.
Yeah, the
today,
Washington won.
Then they'll bump up, and so Ohio will drop.
Yep.
Yeah.
A good 5 spot, maybe 4.
Yeah, and they're in Ohio State, they're about I don't know who they might go to another bowl.
Yep.
That might be the Fiesta Bowl. It might be Texas versus Ohio State because they'll fall out of there. But but you look at I don't know. I think we should be getting a really good, nice invitation.
I hope so.
I would
really
think
hope
so.
I think, like you said, the Alamo Bowl will be, they used to hate San Antonio.
Yeah.
Alamo
We'll keep that down, but I think Alabama or,
like I said all week,
keep our crosses
at least,
and Fiesta Bowl.
At least we played ourselves out of Shreveport. That's all.
Yeah. I'm going home happy.
I don't got to go spend another New Year's Eve in Shreveport. So
at least there's 2 in a row right here, 2 in a row. We want one in Tucson, and we got one here at home. I mean, here in Tempe, we got that. We have bragging rights. I love to see everybody crying when they're leaving.
Yeah.
So I'm good. I'm good here. So I get to live another day in Scottsdale with everybody, looking at me when I wear my Arizona shirt.
That's right.
Bear down, everybody. Bear down.
Well,
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate
you
it.
stopping
Thank
by,
you.
man. Absolutely.
Yep. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Macayos.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's get a break in here. We'll come back. We'll take more of your calls. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show with J.W. Madden, Kelvin Efine, Glenn Howell, and David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you in part by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog and Firkin, Kaiser Garage Door. Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Shot out of the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Play fake. Steps back to throw. Fires near side. And it's picked off. Gunnar Maldonado, or is that, with the ball. Maldonado to the far side. Down to the 30. Cuts back to the middle of the field at the 20. Breaks a tackle. He's down to the 15. Caught from behind finally at the 10. 3 Sun Devil turnovers. Arizona football.
That's a big-time play. Gunnar Maldonado steps right in front of the ball. And once again, Rashada staring down the receiver, and Maldonado just came right to the ball, intercepted it, and makes a great return.
Gunnar Maldonado, an interception. Dalton Johnson, an interception. Maldonado led the Wildcats with 10 tackles today. Dalton Johnson was right behind him with 8. 59-23, Arizona defeats Arizona State in the Territorial Cup game. The Wildcats now lead the all-time series 51-45-1. Let's talk a little bit about what we saw here today and some of the things that happened. The 36-point win for Arizona, the largest road margin of victory in the Territorial Cup, narrowly topping their 35 points that Arizona won in 1953 over ASU in Tempe. And we mentioned Noah Fafita, 527 yards. That's a new school record for single-game passing. He was voted the Bob Moran MVP of this ball game. Bob Moran, the famous sports writer who covered not only the Sun Devils up here, but also worked at the Tucson Star for a number of years and covered the Arizona Wildcats. I mean, imagine that, a sports writer who covered both sides of this rivalry, a legendary journalist in this state, passed away back in 2008.
African-American
Exactly. Black sports writer Bob Moran. And Noah Fafita is the first quarterback to win that award since Brandon Dawkins did it in 2016. We talked about that game in the postgame, in the pregame. That was the night that the Wildcats did not throw a single pass in the second half and ran for 500 yards. And I think I said in the pregame that I thought it would be nice to see the Wildcats do that this year. Yeah. They did it on the flip side, though, because, again,
they passed
the ball for 500 yards. Yeah. That's what this offense does. They did what they do best tonight in winning this game.
They actually, I still, on me, everybody knows that I'm the run guy, okay? I like the run, but you know what? I think they took what they can get, you know, and it was really, like you said, Dave. You said it was like street ball. They were just out there throwing the ball. Hey, it's just pitch and catch, man. That's all they were doing, and they were getting wide open, and they were getting the routes in there, and I can't. I'm a little upset. They didn't run the ball as much as I wanted to. But I'm always gonna be that guy. But you know what? You can't complain about what they did as far as the pass game. We only had one interception. We had one interception or no interception.
Did we threw?
No,
we only threw one.
Threw one interception.
Just the one in the red zone.
One interception, which was disappointing. I thought if we can get away with nothing in there, so it would have been, then 60-something. We would have probably scored.
Oh, absolutely.
So, it's you got to be, the pass game is very risky. We all know that. We all know that. And I'd love to get a little bit more run, but we did tonight was successful was the pass.
Well, and Kelvin, how about Michael Wiley? 12 carries, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a receiving touchdown, 3 touchdowns this year, 3 touchdowns last year in the Territorial Cup game. 2 wins now back-to-back for Michael Wiley. I think he's put himself up there as a Sun Devil killer right next to Max Zendejas.
Yeah, no, man, he's played magnificent in the last couple games here. Fisher's put him in some nice positions. It's funny. The passing game opened up a couple nice gashes in the run game for him, and he took advantage of them. Fish did a great job passing the ball. I would like to see more runs sometimes. I mean, you want to win, foremost. That's what's most important. But sometimes when I look at the passing yards like that, it makes me afraid that the other team is going to come in with a great passing a great passing defense, but they never have this year. So I guess I might as well put that to rest.
Tanner McLaughlin also 2 touchdown receptions in this ball game to go along with his 7 catches
for 60 yards. All right, 520-848-1290. Let's talk to Paul. You're on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show after a 59-23 win by Arizona over Arizona State in the Territorial Cup game. Hey, Paul.
Hey, guys, bear down.
Bear down.
You know what? True confession, I did not go to the game, David. I was agitated 2 years ago when I went, and I just thought, no, I'm staying home and watching this one on TV. But two quick little tidbits, and then I'll get to what I want to talk about. Two quick things. I think Noah Fafita just threw another touchdown pass. I think he just threw another one. And also, the ASU quarterback, what's his name, Rashada?
Yes.
I think his NIL money, if he buys himself a watch, he'll arrive on time a lot more often. Okay, just a thought. Guys, let me tell you something. This team, as we continued to stack wins, right? All we wanted to do was stack them. I honestly, as a Wildcat fan, I can't remember ever thinking in that way, like stack. How do we stack wins? And we did. And how fun was that? It was a team victory today. Forget the fact that they scored 23. Forget the fact that we scored 59, okay? But the reality is that today, yes, we were the better team, and it wasn't even really that close.
No.
In fact, had Cowling caught that touchdown pass, or that almost touchdown pass at the end of the first half,
oh yeah,
it would have been 45-7 at halftime, you know?
Yeah.
So you think back to some of the things that this team's done, and I think one of you guys said it to Coach. Coach, you're just doing a masterful job of offensive play calling. He really is. He knew that ASU's defense was weak against the pass defense. Of course, he does his scouting, right? But it was so exploited today that Noah probably could have passed for over 600 yards, and actually technically did. Had Cowling almost caught that pass, you know? So what a great victory. The defense, you got to be proud of those guys. I mean, they fixed whatever issues happened early. That's okay. But the defense all year long played really well. I'm super proud of them. Proud to be a Wildcat. But I will say a couple of things here. Thanks to Brian Jeffries and Lamont and to Dana Cooper. Okay, but Brian and Lamont kind of got me just a little bit teary-eyed when they were talking about this is our last Pac-12 game, and it kind of hits in my throat. And like they said, it may not really hit us till next year, but boy, it makes me think, because that 1978, was it 78 was the first year when we joined?
Yep, 78.
And I mean, that's a long time. That's 45 years. And man, oh man, the memories that we'll all take from that, not just the ASU game, the Territorial Cup game, but all the other memories. It's come to a close. I know things change. I'm not great at change, but it's been a good run. It's been a good run. This team, though, I'm telling you right now, if we can keep the core together, which I have no doubt we can't. I think we'll be able to keep them together. We should be up there again. And I don't know what else to say. You guys, I always appreciate listening to you guys. It's great. This is, as I told somebody the other day, I said, you guys don't understand. I said, I'm addicted. I have a drug problem, and my drug problem is U of A football. Okay, and it is my drug
problem to have.
Really
there,
it is, and I tell you, I miss it. I know I drive JW crazy because JW is so cool and so knowledgeable. I drive him crazy because he talks me down off the wall. Say, Paul, relax, chill out. It's all good. And thanks, JW, for all you do. I really appreciate it, guys. Bear down, enjoy. Please travel safely back to Tucson. We're proud Wildcats today, and that's a good thing. And for none of I'm sure my family may be listening down in Tucson, who I know. For my friends in Phoenix who are not listening, of course, you'll be hearing about me or hearing from me for the next 365 days, because I had to listen to 70-7 for 3 years now. Okay, it's done. Because if we really wanted to, we could have hung 70 on it.
Yeah,
we probably could have hung 80 on it.
Absolutely.
So let's be realistic about this whole thing. So, but guys, great coaching, great playmaking, everything worked. Bowling, I like the idea of, boy, wouldn't it be nice to get to what do they call that bowl where you're like at not a New Year's Day bowl, but is there a possibility that we can get?
New Year's Six.
Well, yeah. Well, Glenn seems to think we might get into the Fiesta Bowl. I don't know about that. That's questionable. For me, but.
Hey, if the Fiesta Bowl wants to sell tickets, they'll invite us. How about that?
Yeah,
but
because they had Tulane as projected to go in there. And I'm like, what?
I know. No, come on, please. They'd sell a lot of tickets. But here's the other thing. And again, I don't need to take too much time, but the way Washington played tonight, I watched just a fraction of it.
Yeah.
Oregon, if Oregon doesn't beat them by 30 points next week,
absolutely.
I'll be surprised.
I'm with
Oregon
you there,
is going to
Paul.
work them like there's no tomorrow. And Washington, I hate to say it, but we had them. Even ASU had them.
Yep.
And they escaped tonight. So, that's okay. That's okay. We're still the third best team in the Pac-12 conference the last year, and I'm proud of that and proud to be a Wildcat fan. Guys, as always,
would have been Paul.
Thanks for your help.
Paul, we would have been the Pac-12 South champions if they had the Pac-12 South and North again.
That's what Coach told the team.
Yeah.
He said, "Congratulations for being Pac-12 South champs." I know you think back, and why the Pac-12 did it, who knows? But it is what it is. But you know what? Hey, it's fun to be a football fan. Now we've got to figure out how to get some in-state recruits, wink, wink, to reconsider and stay in Tucson and help us out, help continue to grow this thing.
And
so,
Paul, I
guys,
got to give you credit. I got to give you credit.
What's that?
Okay, when you said 9 wins, I thought maybe you had a little pipe next to you. Okay, and you were puffing on the pipe a little bit. Okay, and you were feeling it.
I know.
Because I didn't think we could get 9, but you and your brother was the ones that predicted it. It said, I don't know about you, Kelvin, what you was thinking when he said that, but I wasn't thinking 9. I'll tell you that. But I give you credit that we did get 9.
Yeah.
But can I say something just real quick, Kelvin? And I'd like to hear what you have to say. Let's look back at this team. And the one thing, the group of people that I did not mention that, and I should have mentioned, the strength and conditioning coaches. Okay, they are amazing because look at our defensive line. How many defensive linemen of those 8 guys who would rotate in and out? How many of those guys missed games? How many games did we miss without those guys? We really didn't. That is a credit.
Paul, I've been saying that for the last 2 weeks, is that the medical staff and the strength and conditioning staff has done a fantastic job with these kids.
But Glenn, you know this, like I know this. Winning heals all injuries.
Yeah.
You don't quite want to miss games when you're winning. You figure out a way to get some ice and be able to get back out there.
You absolutely do.
That's awesome.
Hey, Paul,
guys,
we appreciate
thanks again. Kelvin, by the way, happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday. Being 40 is great, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll take 40. I'll take that all day.
Hey,
Paul.
you guys take care. I'm going to sleep good tonight. Take care, guys. Thanks again.
All right, bear down, Paul.
Bear down.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290.
The players on our team combined have gained 994 pounds, which is one saltwater crocodile.
Yeah. Saltwater the year of the saltwater crocodile has led to a bowl game and another Territorial Cup win. Let's talk to Tom. You're on the Meridian Wealth Management post-game show, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bearing down, guys, bearing down.
Bearing down, indeed.
Yeah, great win. Yeah, we could have, probably scored a couple more, but, that's fine. Good game, good win. Nobody really got hurt or anything. Got some records. Hey, JW, you want to vouch for me about the 9-3? When did Paul predict that, and when did I predict that? Do you know?
Oh, man. I think we did some callers in the first couple of weeks. I think maybe both around the same time.
Okay. Yeah, I've been stuck on it. The whole sad thing about this is, we're going to a good bowl game. We got some respect. But, the last 2 years, or the last 2 commissioners have messed up the Pac-12, and then they mess it up this year with taking away the North and South. We won the South hands down. and we can beat Washington, and I really think we can beat Oregon. You know, your thoughts?
Oregon I think it'll be a little tough. Oregon's playing pretty good. I think Washington,
right.
but I think we can beat Washington. But Oregon's playing pretty tough, man.
Yeah, they are playing. Well, let's just say that it'd be a great game. It would be a great game.
It would be. I mean, yeah, there's no question about that. There's no question about that.
What say if the Alamo Bowl is where we go, is it so? What? Who are we going to be playing? Is it a Big 12 team or is it?
That's a Big 12, Pac-12 bowl. So I mean, the projection we saw this week was Oklahoma. So it could be Oklahoma there.
Oh, that'll be fun. What's their record?
We still got a week though to find out all that stuff. They're
right.
I think they're they've got at least 8 wins.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Tom,
that
how do you feel about this being the last Pac-12 game ever?
I hate it. I really hate it. I mean, this conference this year was almost superior to all the other conferences. I mean, it's a shame. I don't know. I mean, I really don't have words for it. I mean, it's disappointing. You know.
There are no words for it.
No, there really isn't. There really isn't. So, but you know what? It's nice to finish where we did in the final year. But I really think we, should have gone to the championship game. But you know what? Third place, 9-3, chance to go 10-3. I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it. And then going to the Big 12, the feather in our cap.
Appreciate you, Tom. Thank you so
Tom.
much.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Bear down.
Yeah, like I was saying, going into the Big 12 after this season, we're going to go in as the top 4, one of the top 4 teams in the Big 12,
I wouldn't disagree with it.
I mean, I think that's something that we should be very excited about.
But I think that it's a conference that is going to be very balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in any given year there could be different teams.
Yes.
Up there at that top 4. I mean, right now you look at this year, you got Oklahoma State, Kansas State's up there. Baylor's down this year, but there's going to be years when Baylor's up.
Back, yeah.
BYU's a bit down this year. There's going to be years when BYU is up. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Cincinnati. I mean, that was a program when Luke Fickell was there that was winning, but now they're back to being Cincinnati.
Yep.
The Cincinnati they were before
UCF.
Luke Fickell and all those guys got there.
Iowa.
TCU, obviously, last year was a team that played in the national championship game, but now they're down this year. So I think it's a league where, it could be any given team. Texas Tech in the past has been at the top. Now they're kind of in the middle. So it's going to be a very competitive conference from that standpoint.
And then we look at that.
And then we look at that game. We look at Kansas State, and there's all kinds of snow on the ground. And can you imagine going there? Going to Manhattan, Kansas in November to have to play a game. Welcome to the Big 12 Conference.
Yes.
All right, let's get a break in. We got our keys to the game, our best bets, all still straight ahead. We'll hear from Jed Fish. We'll hear from the players after this 59-23 win. It's the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show. Wildcats take the Territorial Cup for a second straight season with Glenn Howe and Calvin Efon, JW Madden. I'm David Keller. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you in part by Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, the Tucson Police Department, Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling and Plumbing. Radio 1290, brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
So Rashado at quarterback, and Carlos Brooks, the running back, to his right. Two receivers right, one left. Rashado will take the snap, play fake, sets up, looking to throw, nowhere to go. Now he'll run it to the near side, being chased and sacked. Back at the 41-yard line, Jacob Manu.
How did the 1290 crew do today with their best bets? Let's find out how they did in today's pregame show. Today's best bets are brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
You know, after we did the best bets, I walked out of here. I said, it really didn't make any sense to take the under in this game if we felt like it was going to be easy to lay the 12.5, and then we thought that they would probably run it up on them. Anyway, after I was like, left out here, I was like, that was dumb. That was kind of dumb to take the under in this game.
I was questioning that, but I didn't want to hurt your feelings and tell you that, Dave.
Well, you should have gone against me.
That was a dumb bet.
Yeah, I couldn't go with you guys today on that one.
I took the over.
No, you took the under. I thought me and you took the under.
Did I go
Kelvin
under?
was the only one that took. Kelvin was the only one that took the over today.
I thought I took the over.
No, you took the under too.
I said 38-21. ASU scored a couple more points than what I expected them to score, but Arizona went crazy. I mean, they had an offensive explosion. Fish probably been having that game plan ready for a couple years now.
Made no sense whatsoever to take the under. So the Wildcats easily covered the 12.5 spread in this ball game. The over-under was 50, and this game ended on 82. So way over that 50 today. So Kelvin's taking home all the money today. Glenn and I, it's a push.
And that's how the 1290 crew did with their best bets. Today's best bets were brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290, taking your calls after a 59-23 Arizona win over Arizona State. Let's chat with John. You're on the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bear down, boys.
Bear down, John.
Bear down.
Man, Arizona football has been a problem now for about 8 weeks for every team that they have played. And, I was looking at the depth chart today, and it's a lot of freshmen and sophomores and redshirt freshmen that are on the 1 and 2 deep right now. And, you're replacing really, really good players that are leaving. But I just feel like they have a good enough pulse of who they're going to – and then I'm just kind of a question for Kelvin here too, because we're stepping into new recruiting territory, really, for what we're really going to try and butter our bread. And I'm just curious how attractive we must look to high schools. And
having bad teeth, your self-esteem suffers.
The style that we play and how young and how many dudes that we play that are young, it looks like this is just the beginning of what could be sustainable excellence for a long time to come, guys.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the style of play and winning attracts the players, and players like playing in that style. And then when you're looking at the game and you see Fish trying to get the ball to T-Mac so he can break a record, it looked like he was trying to pass the ball enough for Noah to break the record as well, right? And then to get that touchdown for Cowing right there, for he can tie the record of touchdowns in a single season. As a player, when you sit back and you're looking at things like that tells you that's a coach that kind of gets it, that understands that, yes, it's about the university, yes, it's about the coaching staff and making sure that they secure their contracts, but it's also about making sure the players get something out of this besides just being able to say they was a Division I player. So, yeah, players looking at that, I'll guarantee you that the players down in Texas, that's probably going to be the biggest place that I think that recruiting could really pick up at is in Texas. I don't know how much you want to go to Oklahoma, Kansas, or Iowa, maybe Florida a little bit because of UCF, but I think Texas is where we need to hone in at, and I'm a Texas guy, so I'm probably saying that, but just because of the players I know that are there, and you want to battle some of them Big 12 teams for some of those guys.
Not so fast. Don't forget the Cali boys.
I know we can't never do that.
Delvin,
We can't never do that.
Come on now. We got to go to. We're gonna go to Cali, and we're gonna go. I think we need to go to Northern Cal too, because Sacramento and Oakland, where I'm from up there, in Hayward and all that. I think they need to get that a little bit going, because we got a couple guys on our team that are from Hayward and James Logan and up there. Those high schools in Northern California and Sacramento, because that's a hot.
You got Coleman, John Coleman.
Yeah, they got all those guys. They got a bunch of guys in that area, and we haven't really hit that area in a long time.
I'll just say this one more thing. Well, and being all real with you, I mean, we got to continue that pipeline to the Polynesians.
Yes,
I mean, because that's one of the biggest.
There's a lot of them in the Bay Area. There's a lot of them in the Bay Area.
You guys, I think you guys just hit the nail on the head right there. If you look at us, I mean, they look like they all love each other, and they're playing hard. And it's Arizona football hasn't had a chip on its shoulder with the talent like this in a while. Where we've been undersized for so darn long on both sides of the ball a lot of times, and we were able to scheme or do whatever. But this is like, hey, we're here, and we're big, and we're dirty, we're hard, and we're gonna play hard.
We got dogs.
Like that's
man.
how it feels. We're like
we got dogs in multiple sports.
Both sports, I know. We got dogs everywhere. We the dog.
Yeah,
we're
gonna punch you in the mouth.
And I'm telling
you, Coma's gonna run downhill on you, and then we're gonna scheme you, and and then you've got a quarterback that's savvy and accurate. And, I mean, he doesn't even run the ball yet within the offense.
Yeah.
That's one more thing. But, the Polynesian pipeline, man, it just feels like, I'll be worried about Fish leaving, and I am a little bit. But when you think about, okay, if you come into the Big 12, and all you got to do is finish in the top 12 now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would you leave here? I don't know.
And you build something to where you can be the best. You can be one of the elite programs in the Big 12. But I don't want to get ahead of myself, you guys. This is the first year where we've been excellent. But I just feel like we're young. You get one more really good recruiting class, and then he has a really good feel for how to sprinkle in the right guys in the transfer portal. It just feels like, and then the coaching is really solid. Mm-hmm. You can't tell I'm a little excited. And plus, just, you know what? Screw it. We beat ASU, too, so just
Hopefully we retain all our coaches, and it's hard to retain a lot of coaches when you're very successful, because everybody
Impossible, Glenn. Keep it real.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah.
After the defensive coaches are going to be, oh my goodness. I mean, you're going to have to get so much money up to keep those guys around, because the attention is on Arizona right now. We're going into a new conference, into the Big 12. If I'm the Big 12 guys, I'm trying to hire three of those guys off just to break up the continuity so these guys can't continue and come and take over my conference. And some teams in that conference, Oklahoma State, some of them teams got some money to be able to do some stuff.
I feel like you guys spend the money, though, when you've got – you guys, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this feels different and this feels special. It feels like they've got the recipe to be elite. And everything that they're doing, they're playing hard, they're playing fundamental, but it doesn't look fluky. Everything looks like – I mean, our guys are playing under control, but they're tackling hard. And we're getting into the backfield. And our dudes are moving dudes. I mean, Mo, watching him – curling off, a left guard. We're just, I mean, it just looks like all the pieces are in place. So you got to find that money, in my opinion, to try to keep that continuity. If you really want to be one of the elite programs potentially in the country, but going in the next 5 years. So,
hey, brother, we appreciate your call. Thank you so much.
You have a good night.
Bear down.
520.
Were the Cats able to unlock the keys to the game? Let's look at our pregame keys to the game. They are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right. Let's start off with Kelvin, what he thought needed to happen today for the Wildcats to win this game.
I think first and foremost, you have to keep your head. You got to make sure you have a level head going into this game. You are the team going in with the winning record. You have to understand those guys coming in with a losing record with no opportunity to go to a bowl game. There's all kind of shenanigans that they try to pull you into to get you thrown out the game or get you where you can't play in the next game. So I think first and foremost, you have to keep a level head in this game. I mean, it's going to get competitive. It's going to get a little nasty. Just keep that level head. Second, I think you have to keep it simple. Run the ball. I know we have a fancy passing game. I know we have great receivers, great quarterback play right now. The offensive line is giving them all that time. But I think, man, you got to go to that running game today and try to punish those guys and physically dominate them and try to take their will away. And then lastly, I just think that, again, run the ball. Run the ball some more. Run that clock and get out of there and get that dub. So, that's basically it for me.
Well, they ran the ball down by the goal line, but they didn't run it necessarily between the 20s. I mean, there was just so much open space to throw the ball between the 20s, but then when they got it down there, that's when they pounded it in and got a couple of rushing touchdowns with Wiley and Jonah Coleman.
Yeah, I think they did. I think they did a good job, and I thought the plays that he had with the screens on the outside and getting the ball into the end zone were pretty good plays, and the ones to McLaughlin, to Tanner.
Yeah,
those were good. Those were good plays that Coach Fish called, and they executed it. And those guys, and you can't run those plays if you don't have linemen that are athletic, man. That are athletic, that can run like basketball players.
Yeah. And I'll say to my keys, I'll say this. I'll say I would have really loved to run that ball to set that physical presence and put that in the mind of the other teams going into the new conference. But you also got to do whatever you think you need to do with your game planning from your practices, what's best for your team to win that game. And it worked. So, hey, all you got to do is, you take your hats out to it and say, congratulations. I mean, a certain style doesn't matter if you're getting it done.
And again, Tanner McLaughlin, 7 catches today, now 76 on his career. That is one more than Rob Gronkowski had for his career here at the University of Arizona. So there is a new tight end king. His name is Tanner McLaughlin. Glenn's keys were.
Kelvin, that's why we're both Wildcats. we on the same doggone page, man. I mean, everything that you just said, I agree with you 120%. Okay, thinking about what we need to do, run the ball. Let's put pressure on them to chase. We put them are chasing the number on the scoreboard. If they're chasing, what's going to happen to them is they're going to create turnovers. We're going to create some turnovers with them. We want them to be we need to be able to understand that in this game, like Kelvin says, our emotions got to be under control. We got to be able to say, hey, we're the big brother out here, and we're going to take you down, and we're just going to smother you. We're going to smother you, and that's what they need to do. And don't underestimate these scum devils up here because they have nothing to lose. It's like putting a cat in a corner when they'll raise up and they'll fight to the death. So you don't know what's going to happen. So you got to be able to, and when you have the foot on the neck, you got to choke them out.
Well, and we did make them chase.
Yeah, they did chase.
They were chasing for sure.
And they chased and they lost sight of us because they couldn't see us no more because we got so far ahead, and we did. I think we did keep our cool. We had a couple penalties that I think that, was going on.
No ejections,
there
positive.
There was a thing that a guy sent me, Ken Beiersdorf sent me a thing of a coach that was laying on top of a player. So I don't know if that was preventing one of our guys going off, He was on top of him, preventing it, and I didn't hear any. We haven't heard anything, Ken, if you're listening. We haven't heard anything about what that situation was, maybe holding the player down, but I thought we kept our cool.
Yeah.
I thought we did a pretty good job of doing that. I would, like what Kelvin was saying, we wanted to run the ball, but I guess today wasn't the time to run.
No.
They gave us everything that we could that we wanted to see in the pass game.
Right.
And they gave it to us, and we took advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, in big plays. Like,
Yeah.
I think
Huge
J-Dub, what was the stat you threw out there in terms of the big plays today?
15 plays over 15 yards.
Yeah.
And you know what was crazy about it? How do you I haven't understood this all season. First off, J-Dub, if I'm playing against a team, I mean basketball, we're going to double your best guy. We're going to find somebody.
They didn't even have one guy on T-Mac, Kelvin.
They
had
him
bracketed.
I was
wide
go there.
open.
It was time.
On that
I mean,
touchdown.
And that was so smart of Fish to run those stutter goals. That we call those stutter goals, where you run out there 10 yards, you stutter, and then you take off. And those guys were just going in all type of directions. Those are the NFL plays that Fish is running out there to free them up. But how in the heck does T-Mac run around the field so wide open?
Yeah,
it was
insane.
I just didn't understand that. I mean, I'm still surprised. I just haven't really seen a double team on him all year. I just don't understand what's going on with some of these defensive game plans.
Yeah, they were at times they were bracketing him. There was one guy on top, one guy that was just guarding him, and then there's a guy on top where they threw the ball in the end zone. The one time they threw him up.
Yeah, a couple times, you did see that.
They see they were bracketing him.
You did see
so
that.
you've seen that happen. And here's another stat that I thought was great that we did. That we were 8 for 11 on third downs.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some times we were third and like 12.
17, I've seen a couple,
And how about Noah? Noah, it's like a couple times when the pressure comes, he's not moving with his feet. He just kind of turned his shoulders and let the guy just kind of miss him.
Well, that's when that size is to his advantage. When you're that big, tall quarterback, I mean, you like a statue waiting for somebody to come and take shots. So that little small guy, that small guy is tough to tackle back there for those big guys. You 6'3", 6'4", it's hard to get down low like that and really get a hold to him. So it's not surprising to me. And again, we got to remember, he's always been small. He's been coached up, been in little league, so he really understands how to play. You watch him, and you can tell how much time he's put into the film room, how much extra time that he's putting in there with Jed Fish, so they can be on the same tune and understanding the same. Because when you watch him play, it's like Fish's brain or Fish is in a what you call that, one of them little things in the ear, a little microphone in his ear telling him exactly where to throw the ball. I'm like, how is he throwing the ball in the right place every time? It's just eerily weird.
Kelvin, I just counted it up, and T-Mac had 8 of the 15 big plays. 8 plays over 15 yards. So they better put 2 on him next game.
How?
And and you think about all those, the third and longs we had 9 plus third and longs. We were 2 for 3.
2 for 3,
And I think both of those were T-Mac.
Yeah.
On the third.
There was one that was 3rd and 17.
Yeah.
And they got 17 and a half.
Yeah.
Who out there wants to hear David Kelly's keys?
Yeah. We can listen to mine. It's interesting. James DeBow brought up his time as a pledge, and Kelvin just when he talked about keeping your head, it took me back to my years pledging and the great poem by If called by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too. You absolutely cannot put yourself, and Jed Fish talked about this week, you cannot put yourself in a position to have guys ejected in this game like we had last year, because this year there's more games coming. There's another game coming, and you do not want to be sitting out a half or an entire bowl game when you have worked so hard to get to this point. So indeed, keeping your head is going to be important. In terms of the actual of what's going to happen on this field, this is a team that runs a lot of screens to their wide receivers, much like the Wildcats do. We've seen this Arizona team
do an excellent job of tackling in space, and that has got to continue today with the likes of Traden Stukes and Dalton Johnson. I mean, those are going to be the guys on those edges, along with Gunnar Maldonado. Your safeties and your DBs are going to be critical to shutting down this passing game for the Arizona State Sun Devils. I don't think they're going to be able to come in here and run the ball against you. They're going to try to throw it, just like the Wildcats are going to try to throw it. But I sure wouldn't mind seeing a throwback to 2016, where the Wildcats did not run a single pass play in the second half of that game and rolled up 511 yards in winning back in Tucson. Man, that for sure was a memorable day. Brandon Dawkins ran for 183, Samaje Grant ran for 176, and Zach Green ran for 126, and they combined for 7 touchdowns. I wouldn't mind seeing that from this running back crew that we've got here today. Just, physically take control of this game and don't take your foot off of their neck.
Yeah, I mean, that's, didn't get the dominant run.
Yeah.
It was a dominant pass, but kept our cool, which was an important thing there, I think, for this Arizona Wildcats team. And they get the win tonight, 59-23. All right, before we let Kelvin go, I got one question that I want to throw out there for the both of you, because there's a groundswell right now of conversation that at 9-3, this might be the best team in school history.
Yeah, no.
You're asking Kelvin Ifan this question?
Man. Got a little more work to do, man. Got a little more work to do, man. You know what? I'm gonna say this, man. I great season. Wasn't expected at all. They came out and did a great job running off, winning some big games versus some ranked teams. But that 12-1, man. I mean, that's gonna be tough, man. Beating Nebraska at the end. You still got to win your bowl game too, But this is one of the 10 wins is huge in Arizona's history. Haven't been too many times. Was it like 15, 18 times that we've won 10 games? So it's up there. It's up there. Now, coming back into next year, they got a chance to quiet everybody. They got everything coming back. They losing Morgan, though. To me, that's the biggest. Wiley, they got a few running backs. Morgan, to me, that's probably the biggest. I don't know about the big fella Norton. I don't know if he has another year. You're going to have to replace him right there. We're going to have to get another nose guard. But everything else, we pretty much got coming back. So you're going to have a chance to really show us if you're really the best team coming into next year. But right now, you in the top 10.
Yeah, they're in the top 10 because I don't even think they're better than our 85 team.
Wow.
88-3-1.
Okay.
You look at all the pros that were on that team. That was a good team too.
Well, the story hasn't been written on the pros that might be on this team.
Yeah, it hasn't.
I mean, there's some people that believe there's 11 NFL guys on this team right now.
Yeah, we had the number one defense in the pack. Okay, in 85. So, we had great running back Dave Adams, wide receivers John Horton, Derek Hill. I mean, we had some serious.
Thrill Hill.
We had some really good guys up front on our defense. We had, the Singletons. We had, Byron Evans. We had some Chuck Cecil. Alan Durden. We had some really good players on that team. So I don't know. I don't know if we jumped that quick on this team.
Territorial McMillan today joining your guys, Derek Hill and John Horton, as in the 200-yard club in a single game. Now, just 10 guys have caught passes for over 200 yards in a single game, and Territorial McMillan now second on that list with his 266 today behind Jeremy McDaniel, who caught 283 yards in 1996 at California. So it's now Jeremy McDaniel, Territorial McMillan, Austin Hill, Dennis Northcutt, and Bobby Wade, your top 5 in a single game in school history. Kelvin, any final thoughts before we let you fly?
Hey, it's been a great regular season. Man, definitely enjoyed working with you guys, man. Been some up and downs for me, but you guys have been there. Really appreciate you guys. And hey, Bear Down Nation, man, you guys deserve this, man. We went through a lot in those years where they didn't win a game or only won one game. So very excited to see them back in these times, and can't wait to see more, and really focused and hype about them having a chance to go to a great bowl game and winning that game.
All right, we've got – go ahead.
I was going to say, Kelvin, it's always been great.
Yeah.
Another great year. It's a pleasure doing the show with
y'all
you.
talking like it's over. It ain't over.
Yeah, I know. We got one more game. We got one more game, but this is regular season. But we've been used to doing that.
Right, exactly. We ain't saying goodbye to this year after the Arizona State game. We got one more game to go.
Yeah, we've been used to doing that. But I'm just saying that, I really appreciate being on the show with you, man. I learn something every show, and it's great to be with you, and love you, man, and bear down.
Appreciate the passion. Appreciate the passion, Kelvin, that you bring every week, indeed, to these programs on both sides, the football and the basketball side, and looking forward to diving into that story as we continue to write that with this men's basketball team as well. All right, let's get one final break in here. We still got a lot to get to today. We'll take you probably to about 8:30 this evening. We got to hear from Jed Fish and the players straight ahead. It's the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show with Kelvin Efon, Glenn Hound, J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our keys to the game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different. Bear down, Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Fafita rolls back, throws the pass. Caught. McLaughlin dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Tanner McLaughlin with his second TD of the day.
Arizona is just on. They've been so sharp today, and that was another example of it.
59-23, Arizona wins the Territorial Cup game over the Arizona State Sun Devils. Interestingly enough, Glenn, how about this? Prior to today, prior to this game, do you know who the winningest coach in the Territorial Cup game this century was in terms of winning percentage?
For Arizona?
In terms of winning percentage in the Territorial Cup game.
I would have to say Larry Smith.
No, this century.
This century.
21st since 2000.
Since 2000.
Yeah.
I'd have to say probably 2-0. It's 100%. It's Jed Fish.
Well, he's 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah, prior to this year.
I would say had Dick Tomey?
No, Dick Tomey coached in just.
Oh no, 2000.
He coached in one.
Okay.
He lost.
So I'm thinking, who's our coaches? There, Mike Stoops.
Mike Stoops coached
2006. He came in 2006.
Right. He coached in, I believe,
6 games.
Yeah.
And he was what? 3-6.
He was 3-3.
3-3.
Yeah.
I don't know who is.
Tim Kish at 1-0.
Really? Oh my God. 1-0.
Tim Kish at 1-0.
But you had to have a minimum. Minimum of 4.
So Jed Fish is now the only other coach this century in this game over 500 now at 2-1. How about that?
Wow.
All right, let's hear from the players over at the stadium. Michael Wiley, Gunnar Maldonado met the media after the game.
Justin, question for both of you guys. Just overall, how good did this one feel to end regular season?
For me, it felt great. To be able to represent the past seniors that were here, and to be a part of what they have to go through, and to finally be at a point where it's basically opposite from what it was 3 years ago, and so it feels great.
And then,
I was just gonna say it feels amazing. I grew up coming to this game, so being able to play in it, and it was a lot of fun. It meant a lot.
And Mike, what did you take away from how Noah and T-Mac were able to play today?
That's just them. That's just their connection. It's special, as you can see. T-Mac going for all 250 yards or something like that. And, to see them go out there and basically, go out there and play backyard football at a high level is good to see.
Gunnar, what was the conversation like after ASU got that? I think 75 rushing yards on that first drive. Because from then on, how you guys have stepped up defensively?
Yeah, it was just the usual. We've gone through adversity all year, man. Just stick to it, play hard, brand of football. We work hard to come out fast, and they did a good job on that first drive. So just made some adjustments and went out there.
What's going on?
Question about you. On your any time to reflect on how far this program has come?
To be able to basically come in and the program was already kind of going downhill, and to see where the basically the bottom point of losing to 77 and losing to NIU, and then to come back from that and either last year going 5-7, this year winning 9 games, special. I want to say I believed it from the jump, but grind, the work that we put in, in the off season, it was beautiful, and I should have expected it from it's how absolutely.
And then can you give me that faith on how bad you wanted to get in the end zone there?
Yeah, man. The scheme put me in a good position to make that play, and then yeah, man, it was
He turned into a little power Tyson. It was a race to get to the end zone. Couldn't get it, but I appreciate all my teammates blocking their butts off for me and stuff like that. So it was fun.
Michael, do you think one of the main reasons to the 6-game stretch for you guys is play up front, not only on the offensive line but defensive line as well?
Of course, it always starts up front. It starts in the trenches, and to see the grit and the neatness that we have, I think that's the reason why we're so much more physical than some of the other teams. Just like I said, it starts in the trenches. We got some guys up there.
Sorry, what do you think's been the biggest difference for the offensive line from the first 6 games to the last 6 games?
Just being comfortable, just believing in ourselves, knowing that we're one of the best teams in the country. We know that. It's about confidence. That's really what it is about.
Michael, what do you think it's been about Noah that's allowed him to play at such a high level this season?
His poise, his approach to the game, he was always at that elite level. I'm not surprised at all. He's back there calm. He takes the game seriously. And you can see how he plays out there. It's like he's just going through the motions. You see him do what he's supposed to do. And then it's hold on, Pierce.
Michael, up.
For Gunner, were you expecting them to come out with that kind of wildcat look with Conyers and Scatterbo?
Yeah, we were expecting that. We didn't know how much we were going to get, of course, but we practiced for it. They did a good job with it. Those two guys are great athletes. Hard runners. So we had our hands full a little bit, but we prepared for it, and we were.
You guys had a long meeting on the sideline after that first drive. What was the coaching points after that first drive?
Yeah, just a lot of making sure everybody's in the right gap, making sure we know where everybody's supposed to be, and then like I said earlier, just stay on, just be relentless, do what we've been doing all year, be physical, and fight on another.
Brad Peterson. Do you have any thoughts about which bowl game you want to go to, and just the idea of knowing that you have one more game to play with this team?
For me, Alamo or Vegas, I'm just happy to go to a bowl.
Yeah. Well, what would you normally be doing that week after these last 3 years?
Home, or finals or something. It's happy to see my last year. Like this.
Justice Pierce.
Michael, what would it mean for you though if you guys supposed to go to the Alamo Bowl to end your collegiate career in your home state?
It would mean a lot. Sitting like that, and with my brothers. Of course, I'm playing that game. Just to, this is gonna be fun. I'm just excited for that, to experience that in some way. So,
Jordan.
Michael, 8 touchdowns in your Territorial Cup career. What is it about this game where you see you find you?
Like I said, man, a lot of my past brothers that used to go here, they never got to experience, being in this school. So going into each of these games, I always play for them, to leave it out there. And I want them to know that I care about y'all, and I care that, although we didn't win, I want to go out there and do my best.
Trent?
Michael, seeing Jordan Morgan at his moment out there on the field his last season, he had the injury. Just seeing him be able to do that and then carry the flag and wave it around, what did that mean to you? Just another Gallows.
I'm happy for him. Last year, week 10, Jordan went down, ACL injury. He was battling, rehabbing all year. And to see him, have the season guy he had this year, and to finish it like this, it's amazing. That's just a credit to what he does and how he works, and you can see it.
Michael?
Gunner, Michael was talking earlier about the chemistry between Noah and T-Mac. Obviously, known each other, played with each other for a long time. When you go up against them in practice, do you see that, and how does it make it difficult for their defense?
Yeah, no, like you said, they play backyard football. Iowa was kind of has that. Obviously, they're very professional, but they have that feel, and they just have that connection. And Noah trusts T-Mac a lot, and T-Mac can really get it. So it's fun watching it. It gets the defense better for sure, because we gotta have perfect coverage, against that duo. So it's fun to watch. And I'm just glad to be on the same team.
In the back,
going 1-11 and 5-7 and 9-3. What was the exact moment when y'all realized the program was turning around?
That's hard to say. That's a lot of them.
I would say this year it was
Literally.
that Washington game. We had, I think, the first half we were kind of messing around with them. We didn't really know if we could beat them or not. And then in the second half we came out there and realized that we're actually a good team. Although we didn't win, but we kind of found our identity from here. I would say that was probably one of the turning points. There's probably a few more with it.
I think Washington State was a great game for us. I think we were kind of on that, like, don't be surprised when you beat the team by a good margin. I think that was a game where it was like, okay, we could do this, and don't be surprised when it happens. So I think that was a good moment to see for us.
Just along those lines, Governor, what is it about Coach Fish? What he do, what he say, how he act to make you guys believe getting to this point is possible?
Yeah. I mean, the last couple of years with him has been, he's been preaching the same stuff since day one. Like, it really hasn't changed much. He just preaches, being a family, playing together, playing hard, and but it's really us buying into what he's saying. He's believed in us, from the jump, and he's brought a lot of great people around us, and we play for each other, we play for him, but he gives us so many good messages. I don't even know what to say.
Final question, Troy.
Can you talk about Johnny Nansen and this point last year to this point this season, how the defense has been around and what Coach Nansen's meant to you?
Man, yeah, Coach Nansen, he's that guy. We love him. Just being in the media room with him on a normal, like, Monday, Tuesday, man, we just everybody loves being around him. And this year I think we've really just trusted him, trusted his play call. But we just love how he coaches, his energy. He loves us. He talks about trusting each other, loving on each other. And you see it day in and day out. He's the same guy every day. And I'm pretty sure he tackled one of our guys on the sideline after a big play today. Like, that's just him. And we love him. And he's just a great person, great coach.
Here is today's Pac-12 scoreboard, brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery. On Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, those were the players, Michael Wiley and Gunnar Maldonado. We'll get into some of the things that they said. Let's give you a quick update on your scoreboard here. Pac-12, these games are final. Washington on a last-second field goal wins the Apple Cup as they beat the Washington State Cougars in Seattle today, 24-21 to finish the regular season 12-0. They'll head to the Pac-12 championship game to take on the Oregon Ducks. Utah knocks off Colorado 23-17. Colorado finishes the year with 8 straight losses in Deion Sanders' first season as the head coach. One game is in progress, nearing the end. Notre Dame right now is all over Stanford, 56-23. Stanford will finish Troy Taylor's first season at 3-9. The big game today in the top 10 saw number 3 Michigan beat number 2 Ohio State in Ann Arbor 30-24. And so that was a big game, as well as Alabama. How about number 8 Alabama coming back from behind to beat Auburn today, 27-24 in their rivalry game. A lot of rivalry games around the nation today. Glenn, we heard the players say, I guess that was a celebration thing where Johnny Nansen tackled one of his players, which we've kind of seen, his exuberance on the sideline. And Michael Wiley, I mentioned the 6 touchdowns the last 2 years, 8 Territorial Cup touchdowns in his career. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's absolutely impressive. That's when you need it the most at the most important game of the year. I don't think there's any UFA football players that don't think that the Arizona State game is not the most important game of the year, okay? There might be some other people who might think so, but think some other games, but that's the most important game in my career when I was here at Arizona State. And for you to perform the way he does in those games is absolutely it's just outstanding.
Final thoughts on this day from you, Glenn, before we let you slide on down the I-10 back to Tucson. A great day to be a Wildcat up here in Tempe.
Absolutely. After, hooking up, talking to the guys on the phone today early in the pregame show, talking to our guys that were just excited about our team and about playing Arizona State and having still having, after 30, 40 years, still having that hate for I hate to say it, the hate for the Scubbies up here, and we took care of business today.
Yeah.
Those guys, the present players, have just made all the former players very, very happy today. It was a great day for Arizona football, and very, very excited about how they took care of business today, and I'm proud of our guys. And our coaching staff have done a great job.
All right, for a 6th straight week, we'll hand out some game balls when we break it down on Tuesday.
Absolutely. we got some
Territorial Cup game balls to hand out on Tuesday.
We already know which one's getting what. Yeah. It ain't a Big Mac. It might be a T-Mac.
Exactly. Glenn Howe, tight end. 1985. Appreciate you, my brother, as we wrap up our close to the end. Like I said, we still got another game to go. Our first season back doing this on radio, and we will talk to you Tuesday in the 5 o'clock hour. All right,
and I like to say, Dave, it was great working with you this year, and it's been awesome. I mean, everything is done perfect with you and JW. JW, you too, man. I want to say shout out to you and our crew that comes and sets us up all the time. The girls and the guys are here.
Jackie and Lisa,
everybody. JW, thanks a lot for all the stuff. Cueing in my music in the house in the huddle. I throw some stuff at you, you get it right up. And also, JW, always sending out the interviews right away so I can send it to my guys that are in the huddle. They really, really appreciate that because they always ask me, J-Dub, could you get me that interview in the next couple of days or weeks or anything? And then, boom, they get it.
How about I get it to you
right now?
10 minutes after you did it.
Yeah, exactly. So I appreciate you, man, J-Dub.
You too, brother. It's all about the cats, my man. It's all about the cats. So whatever I can do to help you and your fellow alumni on this great day, I'm just here to help.
Yeah, right on, brother.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
All right. Let's hear from the head coach, Jed Fish, after his 2nd consecutive win in the Territorial Cup game.
Fantastic game by our team today. Certainly excited by the way all of our guys played. I thought it was a really, really dominant performance by our program, by our team, by our seniors. Jordan Morgan had a fantastic game. Mike Wiley, 3 touchdowns. To see our seniors do that was pretty awesome. There's about 13 guys that were on the team in 2020 that are still remaining. To be able to have them walk out with a win like today was a great one. And obviously can't say enough about Territorial McMillan, 266 yards receiving. Tanner McLaughlin set the single-season tight end record, I believe, here today with his 7 catches. 2 touchdowns. Noah threw for 526 yards today. I think that was our single game record. So all of those things in turn were just a fantastic day. Defensively, we took the ball away 3 times. Dalton Johnson got an interception. Gunnar Maldonado got an interception, and then Jacob Kangaika recovered a fumble. So, it was one of those games that our guys just played fantastic ball and had some short fields, capitalized, had some long field, drove the ball. So just really proud of our team.
We'll start with Justin and then Michael. Wiley and Gunnar pretty much said that Noah and T-Mac's connections like professional backyard football. How would you assess the connection they have on the field?
Yeah, I mean, it's something. They kind of know where each other are at all times, and I guess it's not hard to know where Noah is. He's in the pocket. But Noah knows where T-Mac is at all times. He's running around, and whether we're scrambling or whether we're on time, I think that as Noah said just there, he goes, he's been doing this since 8th grade together. So clearly there's something to that. When we recruited them in 2022, that was a huge part of it, their relationship. And we felt like if we continued to stay strong with T-Mac all the way through, in the end, he was going to play with his buddy. And I think it's worked out well for him.
And why do you think the passing game was so effective today?
We got good looks. We got the looks we wanted. It's been pretty effective all year. I just felt like we had some opportunities of some plays that we wanted to hit on. And we got the defense that we wanted when we called it. So we executed well. We had good protection. Noah did a great job dealing with some of the free rushers that did come up in his face. He was able to stop and pop and hit 10 on a touchdown on a bootleg. He was able to manipulate a defender on a screen. He was able to get the ball out to Mike Wiley versus cover zero blitz. So, the same screen that Mike scored on last week, he scored on this week versus the same defense. So, really, you just kind of hit on some things that were really, really good. And that was really the difference in probably a 300-yard day and a 500-yard day.
Michael and then Jason.
You've talked about the Bills ever since you've been here, and you've never set specific goals in terms of number of wins in a season or whatever. And here you are at the end of the third regular season with a 9-3 record. Could you have imagined that was possible this quickly? And what do you think has led to that?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, when Dave and Dr. Robbins interviewed me for the job, I didn't say that I wanted to just win 5 games or 4 games. I had high aspirations for what we were going to do here. If I didn't think we could win 9 games, I wouldn't have moved my family here. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to win. What we learned, I told our team this last night, that we're the 7th team in Arizona football history to hit 9 wins. That's been only done 6 other times prior to this year, since 1930. So now it's our goal to get to 10, which has only happened 3 other times since 1930. And if our guys can continue to believe and trust the process and keep getting better, I think we can not just do that one year. I think we can do it each year.
Jason and then Brian. You've talked a lot about culture. What is a game like this overall? I mean, it's up to Dillingham and all that. How about how you built the culture to where it's at?
It's a word that everybody uses that I see it like culture before winning, winning before culture before talent. I don't know really. I just know that if you have great players that believe in what you're asking them to do, and you have great high character kids that are believing in what you're asking them to do, just watch the guys on the sideline and how much joy they have, and watch them play and how much joy they have. And I think if you play with joy, you're going to win. And that's where I think our culture has really been about family, about joy, and they play for one another. And that's really the biggest thing for our program was we wanted to recruit players that are of high character, recruit players that love the game of football and love each other. And we're a very close-knit team with coaches and players alike. And I think from that, you could see they love playing for one another, which is probably the biggest part of our culture.
And then one more. How important in a game like this was it? It seemed like you rotated a lot and tried to play a lot of guys. Was that something that you actually thought after? Or did it just kind of happen that way?
Yeah, I think, defensively, always. We're a huge rotation team, as we know. So I think last week we played 30 defensive players. I'm sure it was similar to that. Offensively, we're not big rotators, but we wound up at the running back position we are, but DJ couldn't go, so we needed to rotate all 3 running backs to make sure Mike, Speedy, and Jonah. And then Jonah got a little dinged up in the first half, so he couldn't go very much in the second half. I think he only had 1 snap. And then receivers, if T-Mac and Jacob and Montana are able to go, they usually go. And then if they, tap out for a play or 2, then it'll go Malachi, AJ, or KG. And what's going to happen is I think a guy like KG sees that, and then he now sees what he can bring to the table now that Jacob obviously only has 1 game left with us.
Brian and then Troy.
Chip, what did you see from the defense after that first drive as far as adjusting to what ASU was doing with the run-heavy attack?
Yeah, I think really ASU adjusted too. They played with a tight end at quarterback that first drive, and that was hard to tackle. So we had to make some adjustments with who we were going to have in the game, what fronts we were going to play against that. You can't really just play traditional over and under fronts with your standard 4-down group. So we went to a 5-down group, went to more of a run-heavy defense. We brought the safety down to about 9 yards depth rather than 14 or 15 to add him into the running game. And then we started getting them to play a little bit more traditional. And then when they put Rashad in, it was more traditional offense, and I thought our guys did a great job there.
Troy and then Doug. Defensively, you guys have been getting better and better each game out. And just can you talk about the job Coach Nansen's done in the buy-in you've seen from the players?
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe he's not one of the 15 semifinalists for the Royals Award, the best assistant coach of the year. I don't know if anybody statistically has made nearly the jump that he made. I'm not exactly sure how that happened. In my mind, it was a situation where he has done just a fantastic job of getting our defense better every single week, as the entire staff. And from the back end, the emphasis from Coach Richardson and Coach Cecil and Coach Aquina to getting the ball and getting after the ball, the amount of coverage, the design we're doing there, and then the way the front's playing with Coach Confusi has done a great job with the D-line, and then Coach Nansen coaching the backers. It's been a heck of a job by Coach Nansen, and hats off to him. And I'm not sure 15 guys have done a better job than he's done.
And what do you make of the impact Noah's had on this team and his progression throughout the season?
Yeah, I think it's a full team. I think our whole team has just gotten better every week, and I don't think I think Noah's done a fantastic job. But I also know that I think we had 2 great quarterbacks, and if either quarterback that we're just playing, I think, was leading this team. We managed to be in a situation where Noah got super hot with a super hot hand and was able to just continue to just move the ball up and down and up and down. And that's enabled us to be able to have this 6-game win streak. And it's been a lot of fun.
Doug and then Michael for our last question. Is the Gatorade shower kind of a shock to the system after a game like that?
Yeah, I wasn't ready for it. They just got me, but it was all good.
Did you get one after this game last year?
Yeah, probably. I can't remember. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
And just one on Noah, just how rare is it for someone so young and with his experience level to be so poised?
Yeah, I think that's where he separates himself, is his poise. He certainly has shown, throughout his career as a high school quarterback, and then last year, every opportunity he had in practice. He just plays with incredible composure in the pocket, poise in the pocket, balance in the pocket. And when you have that, really when he comes out the field, he barely ever, I can't even give him a smile. Finally, we went up 59-23 with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left. I said, "You are now cleared to smile." And finally he did, but it was hard to get him to smile there. He's so locked in during the game.
Final question to Michael. As we were coming off the field, we were talking to Dave, and he was in the room and asking him about the possibility of another contract extension from you, and he said, "We want him here for a long time." What are your feelings about that subject?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. That's up to Dave. But sounds good to me. I'm certainly all for it.
All right, that's our time.
Yeah.
All right, that's the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats, Jed Fish, after a 59-23 win over the Arizona State Sun Devils. A contract extension. I'm sure that would pretty much sound good to any head coach that has done what he has done in his 3 seasons here, going from 1 win to 5 and now to 9 with potentially a chance to win a 10th in a bowl game forthcoming.
Yeah,
All right.
DK, normally you run the post-game Coach Fish from your end, and we usually have video on the stream.
Yeah.
You might not have seen that, but he had a gigantic smile on his face when he said that last bit there.
Did he? I would imagine that he did. All right, we're going to wrap this up with one final call. Let's talk to Mauricio. You're on the Meridian Wealth Management post-game show, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Yeah, I think the Lord Jesus would say, "I'll get to heaven. Life is more enjoyable." I think the Wildcats, too, they help us to enjoy life more. Football is a sport where you can enjoy life, like on Thanksgiving or every Sunday after church. Or it was a very good win. And it's amazing how the receivers, nearly 3 got 100 or over, one over nearly 300 yards. The tight end, Travis McMillan, he got 156 with 2 touchdowns. Those are like Travis Kelce's, numbers. He's looking like Rob Gronkowski, only his second year. It's like God gives us gifts, and then you can stir them, and the coaches have helped them stir. They improve their speed and singing. He gives us gifts like singing, and then you practice, you get better. It's stirring the gift. It's a excellent job how the coaches have improved their athleticism or their gifts to perform the way we see how the results of towards the end of the season. 9 wins, that's great, from 2 wins, 5 wins, and 9 wins. I mean, we got a lot better than last year, where this final game, we won it. It wasn't as close as last year. We won it by 36 points. We were thinking when it was halftime, 38-7, that we could have won it by 70-7. Except that still we won by 36 points. Because nothing's perfect. Nothing. What matters is we won, and it brings that enjoyment of life, and it's not. Some don't enjoy it as much as when you have the Lord. You enjoy, even if it's by 1 point. Or last year 3 points we won. That was great. A win's a win. Way better than a loss. Now we're advancing to a bowl game, and where we can win it. Yeah, we can win the bowl game too for a 10th win. It's a blessing. I thank the Lord Jesus. He blesses every day. It's a blessing every day.
Hey, Mo, what do you think about this being the last game in the Pac-12-10 conference?
Say again?
There's no more games. It's the last game that they'll ever play in the conference, which is dissolving next year. They're going to a different conference. So no more UCLA or USC or Washington or Oregon. Those schools are not going to be in the conference anymore after tonight.
Things change. I asked that question, and Colorado will still be there, and Stanford, and ASU, and it looks it's exciting. Actually, it's exciting. Colorado, makes things brighter. Like Moses coming down from the mountain. Things are more brighter on his side than other gods, the true God who we serve, and you can see the spirit, the glow, it's exciting. The conference is exciting with the coach Deion Sanders, it makes it exciting.
Mo, hey, we appreciate you as always. Thanks for calling. We look forward to hearing from you after a bowl game for the first time in 7 years. And we'll find out when that is next Sunday.
Thank you. God bless you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, Mauricio. All right, that's going to wrap it up from Macayo's Mexican Food in Tempe. What a day. The Arizona Wildcats behind a program record 527 yards passing from redshirt freshman quarterback Noah Fafita defeat the Arizona State Sun Devils 59-23. The freshman threw for 4 touchdown passes. His high school teammate Territorial McMillan had 11 catches for 266 yards. Michael Wiley, the senior, ran for 2 touchdowns and caught another pass for another to give him 3 on the day. We now await what the bowl game will be. We'll find that out a week from tomorrow when those placements are announced. J-Dub, any final thoughts
from you on this this historic day.
I want to echo what Kelvin and Glenn said. It was just a really good season working with the three of you guys, and unbelievable season for the Cats. Really proud of what those guys accomplished, and just really looking forward to the bowl game. And, I mean, what can you say? First win up there, that school up north since 2011. Great day to be a Wildcat, David Kelly.
Indeed, indeed it is. All right, we will talk to you next on Monday but there will be a Jetfish press conference show at 1:30. So we will talk to you from there and hear what the coach has to say after he's had a chance to break down the tape. I want to thank all the great folks that helped out here today and back in Tucson as well. Here on site, we had Riley and Jesus and Garrett, Jackie and Lisa all here, AJ Camacho, Dusty Dale, JW Madden back in the studio. As always, most of all, thanks to you for listening. Again, your final score from Mountain American Stadium here in Tempe, Arizona today in the 97th Territorial Cup game. It was the Arizona Wildcats 59, the Arizona State Sun Devils 23. For JW Madden, Kelvin Ifan, Glenn Howe, I'm David Kelly. Have a great rest of your weekend and bear down, Arizona.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you in part by Humane Society of Southern Arizona.